Alright, I forgot to do a video the other day when I started putting this thing back together. First things, I don't know if you'll notice right away, but I painted this. It's sprayed it with the that rust reformer stuff, and for the first time it actually worked. I brushed it all off with a wire brush, and then sprayed that stuff on, and it actually started turning black in certain areas. Other areas it just made like a nice coat, clear coat. And then I went over the top of it with some black primer, and then I decided to go buy some of that truck bed liner from Harbor Freight, the cheaper stuff. I sprayed it all up. I'll have to post some pictures of what I had to do here. So this is the track bar bushing. Oh, excuse me. Got allergies or something, but here is the old frame, or the actual frame. And then this is my crappy weld, and then here is the frame stiffener. Hopefully you can see that. Some gaps in here because this thing is kind of flexing just a tad because it added a little bit more material and kind of pushed this track bar bracket out. And so these holes down up under here were off. So I'll post some pictures with what I had to do. What I ended up having to do though was I had an old, I'll show you, but I had to get my Sawzall. Get this, got a mess going on here again. So I had an old blade, an old one of these, and I just cut it off. And then I went and I bought this file, this rat tail file, from Harbor Freight, and popped the handle off, laid it up on there, used, I have a piece of sheet metal back up in there that I laid on the back of this cargo rack, which I've been doing a lot of the work there, and just started welding it on. And these, at first it was kind of rough because the file, I can't remember what files they're made out of. I think they're made out of like a higher carbon steel or something like that. So I just had to keep welding and just super light heat, slow speed, and just kept going over and over, and then kind of ground it down and brushed it down just a tad. And the same with on the back side, just to get a little more strength in anywhere that I blew through. Popped it in and had to wallow out those holes just a bit, so then they would line up. And finally got it. Got a few pictures, like I said, I'll try and show, but what I had to do is, like, here's a hole, and I had, like, the bolt would be trying to come in, like, maybe about that much, you know, like my finger's the bolt. So I had to take that tool, put it in there, and just, like, cut down with it, which it made pretty short work of that, and then just kind of move it back and forth to make this kind of more of an oval, like pill shaped, you know. And so I got the axle from out back. I replaced the bushings, upper control arm bushings. I'm gonna eventually, I just want to get it back together. I don't have the money right now, but I want to get some adjustable uppers and lowers. To me, that seems like the way to go. Not only are they stronger, but these, you know, being solid, I mean, that helps with strength, but I want to be able to adjust them, you know, so I can get the pinion angle correct, and then maybe I can move the axle slightly forward or back or whatever. I would like to be a little bit farther forward than usual, but we'll see. Then I got all that put together. what else? And as I was working on it, it was an all-day thing. Because I painted it the first day, then put all this on. I put the motor mounts up so that there's no jack under there or jack stand. Brand new motor mounts that I bought off eBay for a pretty good deal. Bolted it all in. This side was easier. This side I had to tweak with. I ended up having to, oh crap, let me get these. I use these to, I don't know if you saw in the other video, I took the axle and I attached it to the front end. This bumper here, lifted it up and had it just swinging there, hanging there, and then with enough clearance, and then drove it around back, and this time just did it in reverse. Okay, so what I had to do, hang on, put you down. Okay, is it still on? Yes it is. So I don't know if you can see it. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, that's alright. But for some reason I think these are the right bolts because they were long enough, but you see there's the oil filter. This has like the old style filter, and there's some stuff missing. There's this evaporator or whatever it is. I forget what it's called for the AC. I'm going to completely remove that for now. But you can see right here, there's that nut. I was fortunate enough that I went through one of my coffee cans with a bunch of spare bolts and parts that was there, and it was like drilled out. And I think I was using it as a spacer for some other project. But it fit over this bolt just perfect. But the reason why I did that is because if you pushed it all the way in, it was going to be up against this oil filter all the way. Maybe tighten it, punch a hole in it, or I wouldn't be able to pull it out. So that's what I had to do. And then I ended up having bought a new little step that I could stand up higher to work on this thing. But I had to put a big old long screwdriver in here, pry it away, and then put a piece of 1-inch square tubing in there and use it as a pry bar to be able to pry this, pry it and line up these holes. This negative, I think this is negative, it might be the power to the alternator. I had to kind of rotate it out of the way because it wouldn't allow me to put this bolt up in there. That's for the winch. So got that all hooked up. Took a while. I ended up having to use that tool again that I made down on this stud hole because for whatever reason it was kind of bent down and it wouldn't allow me to punch it through that hole. So I had to kind of wallow it out to the one side. Got it on there and lined it all up and tightened it all up. And now I'm probably going to be hanging that axle. There's that square tubing right there. I'll be hanging that axle here pretty soon. Let's see, I'm getting pretty excited to be getting ready to get this thing done. I'll have to probably redo brake lines because I just hung it out of the way, get it out of the way. I didn't want to remove it and get that brake fluid everywhere. I don't know, I might have to, if I spray it all up in here, it looks a lot nicer. Let's get that axle up under there. I got new discs, or rotors. Change the bushings. I'll put the rotors on once this thing's all up in here and it's ready to be put down on the ground. I'm going to do brakes. I got all the brake stuff inside the garage. One thing I'll need to do is I'll need to get the steering stabilizer because that one's pretty much shot. Shocks. What else? I'm trying to think. I don't think the stabilizer bar is all bent up. But let's see, get this all in there. I want to get some Dana 44s like I got in my white Jeep for this. So bad it'll then get the stronger upper and lower control arms, beef it up. stronger springs. I don't know if I want to put bags to carry, like loads, because I want to get a little camper for this thing. I think you've seen me talk about it before. Like I have that trailer in the back, and we'll build a wooden slide-out piece. It's going to raise it up like 6 or 7 inches. Thought about even like 10 inches, so then I have more space from here, just the top of this, to the roof of that camper. So I can kind of sit up a little bit better, get in and out, and then I want to build that back, like swing out double doors, and get rid of them damn wasps. Knock out some of these dings, get it ready, maybe touch up the paint, repaint it. And then go from there. I need new 4-wheel drive. I think I need a new one of these. Hope it's got it. Let's see what else. Then I have, let's see, and then I have some spacers, some because I have some wheels like those off of a Bronco that I'm going to put on this thing. I'm going to go get tires, put on it. I think I might have mentioned them before. Yeah, I got a mess again in here after all that work to get it clean. Those ones. There's my rotors. Here's my radiator. Aluminum 3-core radiator. Hopefully it works. I'm trying to keep all this stuff down at this end. I think I need to get some new of these because they are kind of broken. I don't want them painted and they're breaking. So buy some new ones. Air box. I think that's the one for the Jeep. No, that one might be, but there's the springs. Radiator, upper support bracket. What else? I was going to show you, I got ball joints in that box over there. Brake parts are in there. I'm probably going to do an oil change. These filters, I bought a bunch of them. Yeah, they're on sale at Walmart. So they're usually $11.97. I lucked out on one of them because they put it in the wrong box. This one, I think. Or no, that's 342. That's the little small guy. Yeah, this one. They put it in the wrong box. And after doing research and actually looking on it, yeah, 3510. It's actually supposed to be 3500. So I had bought all that they had of these guys. So I stocked up on them. I really like these filters. A lot better than Fram or any of the other ones. What was I going to say about them? But you'll notice that you can see that here's the stock one that it calls for. I don't think I have any more, but that's the stock one. And then those are longer ones, so they hold a little bit more and clean a little more. So I bought those. This one I might have to use on the truck though, because as you saw, brake shoes. Those might be for that. Got a bunch of other extra stuff in there. I like to stock up on parts. Some extra oils. I need to start getting more. Every payday I used to buy, like, a jug of transmission fluid and oil. The high mileage Valvoline stuff. Some radiator fluid, some wiper fluid. Always like to stock up on fluids. Got my gas cans. I need to start filling them with gas, and like to store gas a little bit sometimes, just because there's been times, not necessarily that I think that shit is going to hit the fan, which I do think, but not how like a lot of people are thinking. There's just going to be a lot of